place. Someone flicks me a back body. So, it's another one, yeah. It's a full strong, yeah. Oh, it's another one, yeah.
Well, good morning.
Good morning. So, as we were just saying off camera, you're just falling asleep. I'm just waking up. We're on different time zones, but
we're
hopefully,
connected.
yeah, how we're connected.
Pause.
RnR Hour happens. So yeah, I've got up, got out from under the mosquito net. So if you see me, if you see me waving this, it's because I'm batting the mosquitoes away. Just for anyone who's wondering.
Do you have to
I
take
mean,
malaria tablets?
no, unfortunately not. But
Mate, that's not unfortunate.
yeah,
That's all right.
yeah, fortunate, not
Oh,
unfortunate, fortunate.
sorry.
So
Sorry.
yeah, so I'm
And the
hearing.
internet is really good. Your internet is better there than it is over here, and that's weird.
It is, but then it isn't because over here, my dad's probably the only person in the village who's got fiber optic, especially being used at 5
Well, your
a.m.
dad's got fiber optic like that. Yeah. Go on, Padre Hockam.
Yeah, tell me. Yeah. Old man probably didn't know. Tony Ellis, big up, Tony. Tony, this is for guys like you, our loyal fans. This is why I get up at 5 a.m. Although, to be fair, you know what's happened? All night there was some sort of party going on. Yeah, I think the local college, some sort of outdoor party. I'm just
Mm,
hearing booming Bollywood disco music till about an
sick.
hour ago. And then, just as I'm falling asleep, 5 a.m. hits and the call to prayer, and the mullahs start doing their preaching over the loudspeaker, probably preaching against the people partying the hour before with their music. But there you go.
Yeah. Bro, that's
Um, I,
what? That's pure vibes. What? I'll roll Bangladesh next year if you're just rolling like that. I'll just get
if
my
you're,
tennis racket.
yeah,
Yeah, let's
and
vlog it. R&R on tour.
Tony asked, is it a tennis racket? No, it's an electrified bat. Yeah, so you press this button. If you see like a mosquito heading your way, you press this button. This all electrifies, and Mozzie gets zapped. So yeah. All right.
I'm glad to see that them type of areas have technology's caught up with the madness. So yeah, no, I'm loving it. Big up everybody in the space. Big up Tony. Anybody else who is joining us this evening. We know it's late and the Ortiz fight, Lopez fight is happening. Um, so what I think I'm gonna do is I like the new backdrop, Ikram, but you should have consulted me on the picture, bro, because that I look like a
Yeah,
potato. I look
man.
like a
Look at
potato.
the fuck. I just noticed that. Like Ikram's got a picture of me with that.
No,
See that
Tony,
shadow?
don't encourage this shit. This is
No, no, no,
Ikram. We should have spoke. This is, do you know what it is? This is what happens when you get in bed with an AI. Okay,
no. Yeah.
the Matrix should have taught us. Terminator should have taught us. We'll speak. Nah, no, Saka, stop it. All right, because anyway, um, yeah. So the low, probably the Lopez fight is obviously happening. We've had I had a very good interview with Frank Smith, which we will be Saka. Thank you, Saka. That's you know, um, flattery will get you everywhere. I had a really great interview with Frank Smith, CEO of Matchroom Boxing, which there was obviously a lot discussed. We'll go into that. But Ra, I'll let you kick off the show with the first topic of the evening.
Your favouriteest ever fighter down in the lighter weights, Javonta Davis,
You
aka
already know.
Abdul
You already know.
Wahid. Yeah, what's going on there? Our family at iBoxingHub, we know Trey. He's always big on Abdul Wahid. Me, I've always been a skeptic, not a hater, a skeptic.
Mm,
Uh, yeah, he's been giving it to our own Connor Ben, and from what you spoke to Frank Smith about, it actually seems promising. But our good friend Uncle Beats made a really interesting comment on Twitter. He said Davis must be bored. Why is Eddie Hearn indulging this? But yeah, interesting. And you know what? I like the fight. I like the fight because they're two guys been doing a hell of talking. Um, neither have convinced yet in the ring by fighting to
I
a
forgot to
level
be
that we think they should be fighting at. And they're both giving it each other. So I'd love
pause.
to see it actually. I would like to see it because you know why? Either someone is going to get knocked out who deserves it, or someone or both will be exposed to be not as good as they've been having us believe.
Well, the fight happened in the UK and US. Saka, to be honest, from what I'm hearing, it will more than likely take place in the US. Honestly, guys, go watch the interview. There's a lot of shit that he said. But in terms of this situation, he believes that the fight will happen. Um, something tells me that it will because I know Tank's patterns. I mean Abdul's patterns, and this isn't something where he's stringing Eddie along. You we if you see the way people are over a long amount of time and you see their patterns and the way that they behave and act when you know thing is if you look at the whole prime PBC situation, they're not giving him a date. um there's like rumors of fights that will happen, but we're not happy with the opposition. um and to be honest with you, Tank is probably sick and tired of everything at the PBC. Obviously, he still has ties with Mayweather. Mayweather is just not going to let him go. But contractually, I would say that he is somewhat of a free agent. As much of a free agent as a PBC fight can be. What do you reckon, Ron?
Yeah, I don't know what to make of it from that point of view. He's not. He's never been clear, I think, even about his own contractual situation. I think that's why periodically you see him making some off-key statement, but then he ends up his next fight's back with them again. We've not heard Ellaby pipe up yet, have we?
LOB's been quiet, raw. The most he's ever been
Yeah.
quiet. This is why I'm saying to you, this is different. That whole dynamic over there at the PBC,
Hmm.
though, it doesn't exist anymore. Do you know what I mean? Because LOB is like
Yeah.
Team Mayweather, and he isn't he the president of Mayweather Promotions or something? So it's Al's obviously getting to the stage like a Bob Arum. Maybe not so much like Arum because Arum is more willing to have cross promotional fights, but he's reached that kind of stage where I think it's just because he's old, man. You know, Al Heyman has been in the music industry. Al Heyman, do you know what I mean? Like he's done, seen it all. Obviously, his mother wasn't well during like the Crawford negotiations. So I think it's I see this whole PBC deal with Prime as not going to last longer than maybe a year or two, and then I think Mayweather will probably take over the PBC. You know,
Let's see. I mean, as the guy is saying, he ain't getting fights, and Ferrari's, of course, referring to Tank. rudely dismissing the Saudis. I've made this point before that as you well know, Arab royals don't like being spoken to or about in any terms of disrespect.
He's an idiot, bro.
So
How the hell
the
are you telling the Saudis drop me two Ferraris, and Turkey, His Excellency is coming out with, we'll give you two gloves. That's it.
mm, yeah,
That's why. That's why he doesn't want. He sees working with Eddie beating Connor as a way into the Saudi money. I'm telling you.
yeah, but it might well be. But yeah, his supporters already think it's a flex. They're saying, yeah, he's such a big draw. He can tell the Saudis to sod off. Well, if all your
He's a,
opponents are looking to go over there,
everybody wants Saudi money. Everybody wants to start working with each other. There's only the odd one or two that everything is difficult with. I think Boxer. Um, we might as well kind of go into the Caroline Dubois Ferreira situation. Obviously, Ferreira's been called as a mandatory now. Um, Caroline, well, Ferreira came out today and said she'll fight Caroline anytime. So, um, let's get some.
yeah, well,
Bring, sorry, Ikram, could you bring some of the comments back in? It's Mayweather tax. Look at Tank first, and now Garcia. I mean, Garcia now is going to be fighting Devin. It looks like properly. He can't afford that to go tits up. Pick PBC still have arguably the best roster. Yeah, but they don't. You can have the best roster, but if you can't get the fighters fight dates, that means absolutely nothing. They want you to pay per view for Tim Zoo and Thurman and Cruz and Rowley. I can tell you 100 reasons why that's not pay per view. But if you want to spend your money on that, then that's absolutely fine. But that's fucking, it's just ridiculous, bro. You can't do that. This is what happened the last time with Showtime. And Showtime are completely out of boxing now because of that strategy. I can't see Al Heyman being dumb enough to take the strategy that failed, however many times he's had broadcasters, and continue to have it until there's no more broadcasters left. What is he going to go next? Triller? BLK Prime? No.
would you make the
Luis,
fight itself
which one?
Tank against Ben?
I like it. I even said to Frank, I was like, I think it's a brilliant fight. Um, it will. It's it's interesting in the sense of what is the weight going to be. Where well, I think location will probably be the US. Because I think in terms of his British boxing license, but Frank said that he has an international license, so he can still fight in the UK regardless of anything. All right. Um, just obviously not on uh, British boxing boards shows. So
Mm,
I think I like it, man. And do you know what it is? The build up will be amazing. Tank will
yeah,
be saying to Ben, "You drug cheat." Ben will be saying to him, "Oh, you woman beater,
you
this
wife beater.
whatever," and I'm just gonna be there with some popcorn, and we'll have our show after Raw, and just bask in the glory. To be fair, I think
Big
Eddie
up
will get it
Abbas.
over the line. Big up Abbas. Is it
Is
hard
it
for
hard for
PBC?
the BBC to work with the Saudis because of the heavy American roster and the time zone wouldn't work for the American audience?
Mm,
Absolutely. I think there is that, but also,
they
I,
don't care.
I don't think the Saudis are looking to tap into the US market.
They don't
Um,
need to.
they don't need to. Um, the whole thing around, the big fights coming to Riyadh season and all of that is to kickstart the tourist industry. And Americans just aren't a significant part of the tourist market that would visit the Middle East. They say most Americans barely leave America. I don't think enough of them would want to go all the way to the Middle East, whereas Europeans, Middle East is only what, 6 or 7 hour flight. So and from Asia, it's a similar sort of time frame. So I just don't think they're looking to tap into the US market for that purpose.
Especially with like
Big up, yeah,
distribution with the zone, because what's America to like 130 countries? It just there's,
yeah.
you
It's
know what I mean?
especially as boxing has declined in the US. Uh,
Massively. They don't remember Raw. Jams, I'm going to read your comment in a second. But remember Raw, they held, and I even say this to Americans in the spaces and stuff and shows, they used to hold pride in the Golden Gloves. You know what I mean? They used to grow hold pride in their county, um,
yeah,
you know what I
the
mean,
whole amateur
tournaments.
system was
The
pretty good.
amateur says
Yeah.
now it's just gone to shit, and it's just like they're almost exporting fighters from Cuba and everywhere else, and claiming Mexican Americans because,
Yeah.
you know what I mean, like the talent pool isn't like that. So we'll see anyway. Big up Jones Boxing Chat, much love, bro. Hi guys, Tank is levels above Ben in my opinion, and would take him out despite the size. Would be fun to watch nevertheless. Thing is, there's a lot of I would hate to be the lawyers, Jams, of this fight, because there's going to be at least 10 lawyers to figure out what weight it's going to be at. There's a lot involved in this. There's so much. So, you know, and the silence is deafening. That's all I'll say to you lot. Lucy, big up Lucy. I don't know why Tank Ben suddenly became a thing. They're going to have to pay Tank crazy money to move up in weight to fight an unproven guy. Yeah, they will. But the thing is, Abdul has asked for it.
Mm,
Abdul messaged Eddie. Abdul, it's like the weirdest thing. People think that all of this has come from Matchroom and Eddie and this or whatever like
mm,
that. But Tank is literally the one that said, I'll beat him up. Tank thinks it's an easy night's work. So I wouldn't be surprised if they did it at 147, but Ben has a rehydration clause of like
yeah,
155.
that sounds the most logical thing. I tell you what, Lucy, not a lot of reading the Twitter sphere about American colleagues. There's quite a bit of back and forth between
There's
the
always, there's
pro
always.
and anti PBC guys, and one of them made a point. Like, wait a sec, I thought A sides are the ones who make the offers; they don't receive them. So in that sense, it's a bit strange. This has cornered Tank somewhat because I mean, Lucy, when you say they're going to have to pay Tank, I would have thought, given how much their Tank and his team are always going on about what a draw he is and what a big pay-per-view star he is. I mean, isn't the payment just what the pay-per-view sales make? Well, unless you're talking about like the upfront guarantee. Um, yeah, I
Yeah,
don't know. I'll be
Tony.
interested. I'll be interested to see what sort of offer Matchroom are actually making to
It will
Tank in
be
that sense.
guaranteed 30 million. It will be guaranteed 30 million, definitely.
Is
Um,
Ben a pay-per-view name in the UK? Never mind America.
yeah, I would say it. No one's a pay-per-view name like that. Not even
No.
Joshua anymore, because
Uh,
the
But
climate is that it's not the fire, it's the fighters. So you have
yeah,
like
it's the
now
fight. Yeah.
you can't think of you know what I mean? You can't think of maybe, well, except for Canelo, but he has that, you know how much you're gonna gross with him. But now you have
Mm,
to look at the fight as a product. Yeah. So the product would be Ben versus Tank. That sells itself in Ben's name, Tank. Do you know what I mean? It has to have. There's no such thing as having one. This is how the PBC have gone to shit because they put what or who did they put on pay-per-view? The man who walks this earth like a god. They put
Charles
him.
Martin,
They put. Remember when they put Charles Martin on pay-per-view? I was like,
Prince Charles Martin.
it's ridiculous. So
Yeah.
you have to have a product for us to buy stuff now because it's inflation, all this type of shit. No one here
Lucy's
knows who
made a
Ben
point.
is.
No one knows who Ben is. You know what? But how many people in America know who Tank is?
No, but it's not that
If
raw.
if
The way they'll
if Tank,
market the fight, they'll do
yeah,
documentaries and stuff on Nigel Benn. They'll do reruns of his fights. They'll do this. They'll do that. Trust me. 200K of marketing goes a long way.
Eh, what's that about saying? If I'm Eddie, I'm jumping on all this Ben hype and doing whatever I can to make this fight. If there are
Absolutely.
issues to fight in the UK, get your names in the lightning set. I tell you what, yeah, I agree. I personally thought it's time, given the problems Ben has over here. I thought, look, given that DAZN are now global and working a lot in America, just have an extended campaign in America. I always
Mm,
thought the fact that he's a fluent Spanish speaker, go over and fight in California, Arizona,
mm,
Vegas on the shows which DAZN are putting on over there. Talk a load of shit in Spanish and English. Americans love a British accent anyway, but then
mm.
one who speaks Spanish as well. Um, I thought, yeah, he could get a bit of a following there, even if he is like a hate figure. Any publicity is good enough. I think that he should spend some time in America now because if there's ongoing problems getting a board license and you just want to sort of get away from some of the negativity, I mean that could work.
Best thing to be is an anti-hero, man, because Ben will always have this stain in his career, until he beats like 5 or 6 massive consecutive opponents one after the other. He'd have to do something crazy for people to not talk about this shit anymore.
Yeah.
So it is what it is. He needs to be an anti-hero. Go fight Tank. Go fight this. Go do something. Just do something. But you can't fight the Dobsons and stuff anymore. You've had two, you know what I mean? Okay, fights now. Fight Tank, and I do think that fight will happen. Something tells me that it definitely will happen, which is
Where do
weird.
you think it happens? Do you think it's a Vegas fight?
Oh yeah, million percent it's a Vegas fight. You have to understand, Tank um brings in the gate. So regardless of Connor not being known in the US, Tank will have that whole gate covered. And then you look for the international pay-per-view distribution of Ben the Ben name, because Nigel will be fully involved in everything. You, I can see the marketing for this. So if I can see the marketing and I can see what the angle they're going for, everybody else should. It's a no-brainer. And the thing is, Tank doesn't just be quiet like this and negotiate. Never, never,
Mm.
never. His handlers used to do his shit for him, but now it's different.
But Kaya has made a good point. If Ben loses, will it not be a major setback?
No,
I don't know
Ben's young.
because yeah, he's young. I think what he means is the reputation of getting beaten by a lightweight, basically one who he's obviously ridiculed as a midget. Um, Possibly, but I don't know. The way Ben's career's been moved, it almost suggests like they don't really have that much faith in him because there was that insistence on pursuing the Eubank fight. Then you got the fact that he's not being moved to come up against any of the top welterweight contenders. So I wonder, are they thinking we've got to cash him out in as big a fight as possible? I don't know what the line of thinking is. Would it be a major setback?
No, I don't think
I
so.
think it. I think it would, but a major setback, but not the end of his career. But and
Not a
with
major setback. People are too dramatic, Raw, because you have to think about it this way. The reason they wanted the Eubank fight is because of the money. That's all it was. Because they again marketing and would have sold that fight sold out in 20 minutes at the O2. It's a
yeah,
no-brainer why they would want to pursue it, because they want to kind of re you know what I mean, like catch fire to it again. But it's for me, it's just too late. I do feel sorry for Frank in the sense of that he spent a lot of time to try and do it, and we all know his situation and the Eubanks and whatever. So yeah, it is what it is. I think just stop pursuing it. Eubank, no one even knows what Eubank is doing. Let me read you. 147155. I reckon Tank believes he's got this and has said it so publicly. So surely now he has to shout out. Jams, don't ever believe anybody when they say shit publicly. It's a different era now. Okay, don't do that to yourself, because I did and Ra has, and we continue to do it. But we're idiots. we're too deep. We're in too deep now. So don't be like us. Let Ben grind. Let him fight some better fighters, then go after the champions. Lucy, it's too late for that. You know what I mean? I mean, not too late, but it's just this is not the right. He can't live his life like a normal fighter.
Yeah, I think that the problem is also going after the champions at welterweight. Look, none of the welterweight contenders seem to be in any rush to. Have you noticed no one is calling for Crawford other than Ennis, and no one is calling for Ennis? Yeah, it's just too
Ennis is quiet
formidable.
though, man. Everybody talks about Ennis. I like Boots. He's good, but the thing is, Ennis is just he's too quiet. There's no he got he's an email champion now. Um, go fight. This is what Rod. This is what really pisses me off. I'll be honest with you. Is that we're here saying like, oh, no one wants to call this person now. But why can't that person? Crawford obviously doesn't need to do shit. Like
Hmm.
he's at that point in his career where he just wants as much money as he wants. He's earned that. But Boots, as the champion, why don't you say, oh, I want this person at 147. I want this person. I want this person. Boots is quiet. There's not been
Yeah.
anything written in terms of a quote directly from Boots, right? He's not had a date. When was the last? I can't even remember the last time Boots fought. And the thing is, the opponent wasn't even that great for me to remember. So Boots is untested. He's fought nobody. This is just reality.
No,
And it's
you're
just like
right. I
people
think.
and people are like, sorry, and people are like, oh, Bud's ducking Boot. Ducking who?
Hell no. Hell no.
They just make these unofficial boogeymen for no apparent reason, apart from the fact that it spices up the story. So, yeah.
Yeah, Lucy, you're right, but I think Bud's probably doing what Devin did at lightweight. He'll try and hold on to them for as long as possible as Plan B, but I think he does want the last couple of fights of his career. I think he's said as much. Some more legacy fights, either at 154 or even 168, the Canelo fight, which is now being talked about, which I do think he should take, but we'll go
I
into
think
that
you should take that shit
another
too as
time.
well.
Um, yeah, our colleagues Ray and Abbas are pretty adamant that he shouldn't, but I've already said to them I'll
I
join
think you
their
should take
show
it. I
if
wouldn't
it's
even be
ever.
shocked if Crawford won it. I'll be honest. I
Uh,
wouldn't be
in
shocked.
fact, I would favour him, but anyway, we'll talk about that if the fight gets spoken about more seriously. So yeah, if Tank v Connor does happen, how soon? I mean, our friend Turki Al Shik is announcing, a series of big fights. Presumably, they wouldn't want to go up against him. Um, that's one for, I would say, around April. Do you think? Because it'll be Ramadan, so nothing's happening in Saudi Arabia. Perfect to have in Las Vegas.
I think that's a Vegas fight. I think that sells out the what is it, MGM Grand. Um, take it to New York, Madison Square Garden. You're not gonna go to Baltimore. Um, it's a fact. They're not going to Baltimore. Um, yeah, it's a successful fight, and one intriguing enough to have at this time right now for both men, really. Um, Tank is Ryan's obviously going to be fighting Garcia. Everyone's picking opponents now because there's dates, there's times, there's camps. Everything needs to happen cohesively, and activity is killing people. I'm glad that the gears are grinding. I can't see anyone beating Crawford within a weight division or two. Thing is, Crawford needs to fight as well. He needs an opponent. He needs to get going. He's what 36, 37. It's we're not going to see Crawford anymore like that. So
Yeah,
it's a shame that he never had those premier fights like the Spence one that he had. But we'll see. We'll see. Haney versus
what?
Crawford in a few years. I don't. It won't be what it is now. Do you know what I
Mm,
mean? Crawford will be campaigning at 1-5. What you say? A few years. Crawford will want to be out of the game in the next 2 years. I would.
Yeah, I
Do you know?
think so. I think that brings us on to the guy next man who's actually calling Crawford out, but I think he's got to be half joking, or he's it's just him being his usual cool self.
Lopez.
That is Lopez, who of course is fighting in a few hours. Is it? You're staying up for that, right?
Yeah, I think what we'll do. Um, I think we'll do a live. Shall we do a little watch along, Raw? Or are you praying or doing some stuff?
I'll probably be asleep by then.
No, I'm
um,
I'm gonna nap. I'm definitely gonna I'm not just going through the whole thing. About 4 hours from now.
well,
Yeah,
no,
Lucy.
thanks,
Yeah.
Lucy.
Big up Lucy. Definitely them
Maybe,
4 hours, man.
I might join you if I've woken up, but it'll be another sleepy one. Yeah, Lopez, of course, retired, came back, retired.
Can we not just use retired? Like we need a
Yeah,
different word for what they do. Let's say
was it
sabbatical.
attention seeking, or
We'll
is
go
it even
sabbatical.
is it a sabbatical when these guys are only fighting once or twice a year anyway? Because it's like those are their working hours. Like, yeah. But listen, Jermaine Ortiz, have to admit, I haven't watched him fight fully. But by all accounts, he gave Loma his work, didn't he?
Mm.
So he's a very good first defense at 140. Can't say it's a gimme or anything like that. 140 is just red hot right now. Wouldn't you agree?
It always is. It always is. It always is. It produces the best fighters consistently. It's just this four kings crap. But do you know what? I believe the fights that we want are happening now. So I'm not even gonna go into a moan and a bitch about it. Um, you know, Tank v Ben, didn't see it coming, but boxing is the greatest show in the world, so that's absolutely fine. Ryan against Devin, I'll take that any day of the week.
Yeah,
Matias, I believe, is closing in on an opponent. So it is thriving. 140 pounds. Obviously, you're going to have the new kids on the block, Adam Azine, the Dalton Smiths. There's an abundance of talent coming through. So it's always going to remain shit hot. That's what I love about 140. 135 to 147,
and
154 on its schedule. Really, the 154ers, I would just move up and take belts, mate, because it's easy up there
yeah,
at
a lot of
164.
them are a lot of them are low hanging fruit. Yeah, it's a strange one. Um, yeah, that's a decent card. It's an odd one Thursday night.
No, because of the Super Bowl, bro.
Oh, is that it? Okay. Well, good on them then for keeping the boxing, environment moving. Um, can't imagine T will be happy with what he's getting paid because he thinks he's worth 10 million a fight, but maybe
That
some maybe
venue,
someone else.
that venue's different. I swear that venue's like I don't even know how much it holds. Ortiz will have success with To. I just think To wears him down. To's a brilliant counter puncher. He's so good inside the pocket. He'll be
He's
hard to
still with
beat
Bill
for
Haney.
anybody.
Oh, okay. Good
Is
point.
Ortiz
Is
still with
Ortiz
them?
still with him? Uh,
Didn't see him because
yeah, we
usually
haven't seen
you'd see
him.
Bill Haney all in the videos, dancing in the video. Nah, I don't think so. I don't think so. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I didn't see him during the media events. Ortiz is good. Almost beat Loma, beat Jamel Herring, but is a
He's a
lightweight.
lightweight. Yeah, but
It's
so
it's
was
five pounds.
Tio.
It's 5 pounds. It's 5 pounds. We cannot be like we all need to understand two weight classes, right? Depending on the dimension of the fight or whatever, it's okay to go between two weight classes. So when you're going 3, 4, 5, that's when shit gets really real. Um, do you know what I mean?
Big up, big up to Shy the 505,
Love you,
the
Shy.
woman who puts on the best boxing parties around.
And there will be another one, Francis Ngannou versus Anthony Joshua. There's Shai's going to be posting tomorrow. If you see my stories, you would have seen it all in there and the link and everything. So yeah, hopefully buy your tickets, guys, and we'll see you down there for sure. 160 is trash.
Yeah. Well, we've talked about this before that one of the traditional divisions of boxing, but I think it's just the way the average size of men has grown that the better fighters end up at 168. By the looks of it. Yeah. So yeah, and it sucks when you got. I mean, none of the contenders are even that keen on making them fights. Talking of 160 and contenders, which brings us on to one of the shows in the UK.
Yes.
Hamza, my boy.
Hamza.
Going up against Liam Williams. Decent fight, I think.
Hamza's massive, man. Hamza is massive.
He has
I can't see him staying there.
And Williams can hit, if nothing else. So
I can't see anything apart from a Hamza stoppage.
You think? What do you think? It's going to be easy?
I just think, and I have massive respect for Williams. His punch resistance has just been gone. He's looked worse and worse and worse in the last 3 fights that he's had. You know, it is what it is, man. It's just that time in the game. Do you know what I mean? Eubank put him down 4 times. And if Eubank stepped the gas up, he probably could have got him out of there. But I think he really punished him, and beat the punch resistance out of him. So I just can't see it. And I think that after this one, if it goes the way I think it's gonna go, I think Liam just call it a day, man.
Yeah, even though he's not that old, he's only 31. Lucy says you get one big win at 160, probably won't be too hard to get a title shot. Yeah, you're right, but as I was saying, it's like the contenders.
But no one wants one. It's weird. It's fucking strange.
Eubank telling the WBO, hold off of calling the mandatory, and the WBO actually indulge that rather than say, right, you ain't interested.
I don't take Eubank seriously. When we're talking about contenders, I don't put Eubank in there because he's just not.
Yeah, you're right.
He does what he wants to do.
But the WBO have him as number 1.
Yeah, but they're always going to do that. If he's paying sanctioning fees, then they're always going to do that. But he can pay it, but just not care. That's what he does. Yeah. Liam is a boss, but is past his best, to be honest. Yeah, man, I got massive respect for Liam, man. I really wanted him to do it in the Andrade fight, but I think that one was where the scales started to tip not in his favor. And ever since that, and it's true, ever since the Andrade fight, he has regressed a lot. So yeah, I think after this one, maybe just call it a day, to be honest, because Hamza is very, very good. He's very good. He's very good.
Yeah, but then again, even he's not particularly talking about world title shots. I mean, it looks like he wants Eubank or Healy next, or to go on the Matchroom v Queensbury 5v5,
which is good. That's good. That's for where he is in his career. That's fine with me. That's okay.
Right. Because he's young, I'm okay with it. But yeah, I mean, look, the WBC situation. Does anyone even know what it is? I mean, Charlo's been missing for 2 years. Adamers is the interim. Does anyone even know Adamers is
I don't even ask questions about that because it's just weird.
As Lucy pointed out, Lara is a champ at 160, not fought in almost 2 years. Yeah, isn't he fighting Zerafa on the Zoo Thurman undercard? And it's like,
I don't even care.
Zerafa welterweight. Yeah, it's like no one knows or cares.
I don't even care. I just don't care. They're just doing it to just hold the belt and hold relevancy in the division. Any good prospect right now, I think Amo Williams can go and be undisputed at 160.
Yeah, you're right. But yeah, it's weird. It's sad that one of boxing's traditional divisions.
Oh, big up Viso, man, and big up to my brother Tyler Denny, man. I was actually speaking to Tyler today. He found out about it yesterday, Um, I don't know.
Yeah.
We
Will it
both,
happen?
yeah. On his side, yes. On Cash's side, and I'm just talking about me. I don't know. You know, Tyler's up for it. He said, you know, he's looking forward to the purse bids, and that one will definitely Felix Castro. Exactly, Lucy. I don't have
Yeah,
confidence in this guy.
I
I
think
don't.
recently he surfaced at Adam Booth's gym, so it looks like he's training there. So he's left Tony Sims. Um, but then there's also talk that they could put cash into the Matchroom v Queensbury card.
No, no, no,
Hamza against
n-
him. I don't know.
no. He is not ready. He is. Thing is, Cash has he's out of the ring for too long each time. I think it's not there for him right now. You know, I don't. If he won the Emma Williams versus him that fight, if it happened, I would have more confidence. Now I just don't. To be honest with you,
Yeah,
in fact, I'd actually put Emma Williams instead of Cash on
yeah,
on
yeah.
that match from 5v5. Definitely middleweight is shit
Agreed.
anyway. That's a
Big
big
payday
payday out in
outside.
Saudi.
Yeah, yeah. No problem with that. I hope you're talking about Hamza here, though, not
Yeah,
Cash.
Hamza definitely, but not Cash. No way.
Cash,
He's not.
if you've disappeared for 2 years and you can't come straight back into
No,
a
it doesn't work.
payday like
Life
that.
does not work like that. It doesn't work like that. Um, and he'd need fights to get ready anyway, and that tournament's just around the corner, so it's not gonna happen.
Yeah.
Last one of the evening, Raw main event for Matchroom. Um, shit, who's it? It's
Liam Dillon
Dylan.
against Reece Bellotti. Yeah, I
Did
like that
yeah.
fight. I like both guys. Liam Dillon, because he's a neighbour of mine, lives just down the road from me. I've only interviewed him once. Shy guy, doesn't like talking. So that's probably the hardest part of this weekend for him, doing loads of media. Yeah, he's a scaffolder by day, just like our Harry Scarf. Um, and there's a couple other fighters who are scaffolders as well. Yeah, seems to be a common day job. Um, but yeah, he's one of those old school come up through the small hall scene over at RJ's boxing gym in Essex. Not hasn't had much backing, and he's got to the British title, and now a big televised fight. Reece Bellotti, of course, he's a guy was a prospect at one point, failed at a certain level, but stuck with it, and shown he can still beat good guys at British level. He beat, of course, Yusuf Kamari. Close fight, great fight. But he got the decision. Then, of course, beat Akib Fiaz, who was quite a prospect.
I've
So
interviewed
I think
Akib actually.
it's a
Nice
great
guy.
fight. Good crossroads fights for both. Um, I agree with you, Jams. Yeah, I loved it, Liam as well, but I wouldn't be surprised if there's a bit of a late career surge for Bellotti.
It's a brilliant fight. It's actually a genuine 50-50 fight, I would say.
Yeah, and it's great to see a British title fight being exactly that.
First time
So
Matchroom is at
yeah,
the Indigo as well.
yeah, that's a weird. I tell you what, I don't know about you, I do not like the O2 Indigo. It's a weird.
Indigo
It
and
ain't suited
Copper
my box.
Box. Indigo, Copper Box, and York Hall. Covering those three places is just not nice. I'll tell you lot
Yeah, I know
for nothing.
for you it isn't because of the logistics, but
No, it's not even that. They're shit. The arenas are fucking. York Hall has no ventilation in it. Like in winter, you can wear shorts in York Hall. That's a problem, bro. Okay, they really need to do some fucking redecorating in that place. But you know, it is what it
yeah,
is. But,
there's
Shannon,
some
you got
other
Shannon
good
Ryan
fights
on.
on that card. Yeah,
Hmm,
Shannon against Zapatochna. That's a
better
great
fight than the
fight.
first one.
It is actually a great fight. That's a bit of a test for Shannon. So
Hmm.
yeah, great opportunity for her to establish herself further as the #1 flyweight or super flyweight, which is actually becoming really hot around that weight class in the UK, because you got some of the youngsters, girls like Fran Hennessy, Macy
Mm.
Rose, who was Zapatochna's first scheduled
Yeah.
opponent, all
Saw Fran
coming up.
Hennessy fight last weekend. Oh yeah, right, you were there.
Yeah,
Yeah, we both saw a fight.
cool.
Yeah,
We
yeah,
were
yeah.
there.
Lovely, lovely girl.
So yeah, I think the future's great down at flyweight for the ladies. So
I do think
Shannon
Shannon
can
absolutely
put herself
spanks
at the top.
Hennessy, though. I can't lie.
Yeah, but you got to look at the age difference. Shannon's 25 in the prime of her life. Fran's 18, just starting. So, but it'll be exciting. Let's see. Yeah, a couple of
It'll be
other
interesting.
prospects. And of
Yeah,
course,
one
Craig Richards is
prospect.
back.
Craig. Yeah,
Good,
I
good to
actually
see him
asked
back.
Frank about that. I was like, "What?" I was like, he was like, "Oh, obviously, Craig's not a prospect, but it just made sense for the dates." I was like, "Nah, that's cool. I like Craig Richards. I'm a fan. Lovely human being. Whenever you meet him, he has
Yeah,
all the time in the world for you. I like people
absolutely.
like that. Um,
And then
yeah,
you send us talk of him against Yard.
yes,
Great fight
yes, yes.
if it happens. Not our first choice. We'd rather it was Yard against Boatsy,
Boatsy.
but we don't know what Boatsy's going to do. So yeah,
I just want him to fight a good elite level opponent. Just it's just time, raw. Like as a Boatsy fan, you got to the point of frustration with him.
yeah,
Um, it's it's just sink or swim. And the thing is like Eddie was right in the sense of you're going to earn less now from a mandatory position than you would have actually done from a direct deal. But you live and you learn. It's not my business for his finances, but you can't help thinking about it. But yeah, you know, Anthony Yard versus Richards. I got to be honest, I do see Yard winning that fight unless Craig fights smart. But we'll see. We'll see. We'll see. We'll discuss all of that more definitely on the next episode of the RnR. Um,
let's wrap it up, shall we? Because
hmm,
your eyes are drooping shut. I'm freezing my ass off here, and you're probably wondering who freezes in Bangladesh. Believe it or
yeah,
not, it out in the countryside where I am, there's no heating, so overnight I'm freezing my ass off here.
just great internet.
Yeah, just great internet. That's all we got. So let's just go through some of the last comments. Jams asked about the Fabio Wardley and Clark fight. Great fight. That is a banger of a British heavyweight fight. And I tell you
I
what,
can't see Clark winning.
they're such good speakers. Most people are going with Fabio. Um,
And I
rightfully the
like Clark,
favourite.
man. Clark is a lovely guy. Like I always say, it's hard
Yeah.
in this line of work because when you build relationships with fighters, you
hmm
don't want to see any of them lose, man. But
But I'll tell you what, you know how I like an off-key prediction. I wouldn't be surprised if Clark puts on some sort of a negative spoiling performance and gets a decision. I wouldn't be surprised.
I don't see them giving the decision to a negative one with Clark. Like it doesn't
No,
make any it
he is
doesn't
going to
make
be
any
the home fight.
sense.
He's going to be the home favourite.
Yeah, but is
He's
he
going to be the house
though?
fighter. Well,
Mate, they
I
built
use favourite in loose terms, but
very loosely because they were building the last Jamie TKV fight when he lost against that Brazilian. They were building it around Fraze and him fighting, and then Fraze, because I'll never forget it. Fraze came in and he was like, and fucking Sky are building this whole fight around Jamie TKV. I don't even know who. It's not even me trying to start shit. It's just that shit really happened, and I wish I could have got one. It's funny. But yeah,
so let's see.
Solomon awful quiet about Bivol. It's
Well, I
signed
guess,
anyway, mate.
listen, when Turki Al Sheikh, when he wants to, do that, what's that thing they called it? Dubai porta potty shit. When he chooses you for that, you stay silent and take the money.
You have
So
to, bro.
yeah,
There's just too much money involved anyway. Like that's why Vegas is declining. America is
Jam, it's a
declining.
good point. Where does Dan Aziz go now? Spiral. Yeah, that's a good fight.
Fight Lyndon Arthur.
I would hate for Dan to be used from here on as a measuring stick for
No,
young
he
up
should
and
fight
comer.
Lyndon Arthur
So yeah,
for a
Lyndon Arthur's a
mandatory.
good one. Yeah, I think that's a good one. Um, so yeah, Lyndon, Spider, any of those guys are good.
Aziz Callum Smith.
Yeah, again,
Why
Aziz and
not?
Callum Smith. Why not?
Any one
Callum,
of them lot just fight each other. Get yourself in a top 5 ranking, and
yeah,
you're
because
there,
after
innit?
June the 1st, I reckon a lot of the belts will be vacant again.
Sure. What
Thoughts
are
on the
your thoughts
GBM
on
card on Friday? Brilliant. Yeah, great card that. Stevie Levy, she's going for a title there. Good bunch of prospects coming up. Just looking through the cards. That's tomorrow, isn't it? Yeah, some good fights there. Look out! Oh, of course, Thomas the Somber, Sonny Edwards is a fighter. He's fighting Eli Conky for the European bantamweight title. Somber's one of those guys that was forced to become a journeyman, even though he was too good to be, until Sonny picked him up. Now he's a contender. Um, yeah, so it'd be great if Sonny could direct him onto some big fights. That's a great
Big
fight,
up
and
the
it's
Sunny, man. Big up the
I think
Sunny.
it's
Sunny's getting his manager hat on. I like that.
good to see
So
Liam
good to
Cameron
see
back
Liam
soon. Yeah,
Cameron.
yeah. Another GBM doing great stuff up there in Yorkshire. I believe televised for free on Talksport's YouTube channel.
Mm.
So big up to them. Thank you so much, Steve. Neutral's Corner. Yeah, enjoy free. I can't wait to get back under my duvet, which is under the mosquito net. Yeah, I will be going there in a sec. Just shout out also to Top Tier Promotions. They're also on the 10th. Unfortunate for them, they're competing with the two big promotional outfits. Another great prospect show there. It's also for free online, AOZAT TV. So if you don't subscribe to Sky and TNT and DAZN and just want everything for free, there's some free stuff right there for you. So
Also, just want to say before we wrap up the show, big up to our sponsors and collaborators, D Block, who obviously sponsor Johnny Nelson, our favorite New Zealander, Joseph Parker, and another other range of people, including ourselves. So you're going to see, obviously, me and Ryan the gear. Big up to my sponsors, Odd Body Gums. Big up to Shy as well. Like I said, if you're in the UK, you can go onto my Instagram, which is this thing below, and it's got all the ticket information in there. So hopefully we'll see you guys there. Please bring your friends, family, whatever, good vibes, and yeah, it's gonna be electric, man. And also, you know that no one's gonna pull out, which is the biggest thing for
yeah,
everyone involved. Yeah, you will see me at the Queensbury show. You will see Ra on his pilgrimage. Wish him well. Hopefully, no mosquitoes take my guy away. And yeah, much love to everybody. I hope you guys have an amazing, incredible end to the week and the beginning of the next one. Ra, leave the last words to you, buddy.
yeah. As usual, check out Rico's great work on No Smoke Sport, getting those great interviews in.
Check out Punch
His
Out
racing as well,
Boxing.
brilliant. Punch Out Boxing, we're still getting content from all over the world. I was trying to get to the only professional boxing gym here in Bangladesh, but the logistics are so hard in this country. It takes like 3 hours to travel 2 miles. The traffic is just insane. But if not, we're still getting content from the Matchroom and Queensbury events. My colleagues back in the UK are doing that, so look out for that. And yeah, alas, I won't be in the Ring of Fire next weekend as the original plan was, which is why I'm on this trip. Because thanks to a certain Luke, But let's see. We've got March to look forward to, and yeah, some great shows this weekend. So good night, good morning, afternoon, depending where you are in the world, and we shall see you next week.
See you next week. Oh, if you are going to the Copper Box, you'll see me outside. Give me some fan predictions. Get a picture. Much love to everyone. Big up to my brother Ra. Love you, bro. Check you next week. Hopefully, if you don't get bitten by mosquitoes.
It's another bang. All the Muslim cars now, whichever hit her. I start my scars with a sweet one.